Hey, good morning, everybody. So with the cancellation of the gathering, we wanted to hop on Zoom and be able to still do our How to Become a Farmer 101 panel because we have some really great farmers out here in North Iowa and want to make sure we get to tell their stories. So we're going to go down the line and have each of our farmers share their story, their experience, and really a piece of advice for what they recommend for new and beginning farmers. So with that, we're gonna start with Ashley Reckner from Purple Ribbon Beef.
Hey everyone, happy to be here. Unfortunately, it's snowing today and we weren't able to all get together. But like Marie said, I'm Ashley Reckner with Purple Ribbon Beef. My family owns Purple Ribbon Beef. We're located in Clarion, Iowa. All the cattle are born, fed, and raised on our farm, and then we work with local processors. Um, they are a corn-fed beef. There are no added hormones, and like I said, they're corn-fed, and then we can tell you everything about them since they're all born and raised on the farm. We have been selling direct to consumers for 4 to 5 years now, and we do that through different farmers markets. We now have our own store in Clarion, Purple Ribbon General Store, and then we also work with breweries and restaurants in the north central Iowa, even down to Ames and Des Moines. So we have been excited to be able to expand that offering and work with different avenues. It really helps sustain the business when you're able to diversify and have different avenues, whether that be direct to the consumer or through the restaurant side of it. What I would talk about, if there's something I wanted to share, a key piece of advice for when you're getting into becoming a farmer, I would say ask lots of questions to everyone. We're all super happy. That's the nice part about the agriculture industry, is we're willing to usually share what we've learned. And the other piece is to start small. Don't go jump in too big. You need to make sure you have an avenue for your market. That doesn't mean you can't take some risk, but definitely make sure you have some plans in place so you're able to market your entire product.
Fantastic. Great advice too. And all the questions. All right, so now we have Amanda from Grandview Beef.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda from Grandview Beef. My husband and I own this business. It's 100% grass-fed beef that we raise on our Century family farm from birth to harvest. It's a partnership with his parents. So his parents run the cow-calf operation, and then me and him fatten the animals all on pasture with grass, hay, and alfalfa. We sell direct to the end consumers. So we do that through our online sales. You can go right to our website and order, and it ships to Iowa and to Minnesota. And then you can also pick it up directly from the farm, or you can find us at farmers markets and different events all across central Iowa. We also work with grocery stores. So right now you can find us in a couple different places. We're in Louie's Custom Meats, which is in Clear Lake. We're in both Ames Hy-Vees, and then we're also in Lee Wright's Meats. So if you go to Eagle Grove, to the locker there, you can find our beef there as well. And we're expanding that often. So in the next couple weeks, you'll see more offerings. We'll be in Wheatsfield and then the Mason City Hy-Vee. As far as why farming, that's a funny question for me because I didn't grow up farming. I was not born into agriculture at all, but I met my husband in Seattle, and he had this dream of coming back and starting this beef business with his family. And so he convinced me after, I think it took at least a year for that to happen. And we started the business, and just I loved it because I love being outside. I love being in God's creation. And so the ability to do that every day, and to raise animals and then to provide that for other people and to have their families trust you to raise their meat in a sustainable way is pretty special. So that's why we love it. If we could give one piece of advice, it would be to use your resources as a beginning farmer. There are a lot of resources out there. So things like the NRCS, EQIP programs are great for people that are looking to do sustainable farming, want to do things like rotational grazing. They'll help you fund those types of programs. And then also beginning farmers programs can provide you with funding so that you can purchase things like equipment and land that you may not have otherwise been able to purchase on your own. So definitely look for resources that can help you. And if you can't find them, then ask somebody that was a beginning farmer and they'll point you in the right direction.
So true. So many great resources out there. Thank you. Aaron Thomas from the Thomas Farmstead.
Hi, I'm Aaron from the Thomas Farmstead. We're halfway between Joyce and Kensett, just right off I-35, exit 208. And we raise chicken on pasture and pigs on pasture, as you can see in the background. And we have a milk cow too. And we sell at Simply Nourished in Clear Lake. And you can find our chickens on the menu at Piggyback Smoke Shack in Osage. And we're hoping to expand a little bit this year to other places too. Hopefully gonna make it down to Clarion down there. So I've been chatting with some people down there. So other than that, we have a subscription box, a monthly subscription box that you can subscribe to, and then we deliver to your house or work once a month. And that has been growing and working out very well for us. We got into farming after my daughter was born, and we started researching about where our food came from, and we realized how unhealthy most of the food that you can get in the grocery store is. And at that time, we weren't keyed into all the local food that was available. Plus, there wasn't that much available at that time. And so we said, well, let's just go buy an acreage and we'll start raising our own. And me being a serial entrepreneur, I already have a photography business. I said, well, if we're going to go through all this work, we might as well do a little bit more and sell it. And I love turning my passions into a business. So we did it, and it's been fun, and I wouldn't do anything different. My key piece of advice for a beginning farmer is, at some point you just got to stop researching and just do it. And you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to learn best that way. And that's a hard lesson that we learned, is not everything what works on someone else's farm may not work on your farm. And so with chicken feeds, or the way we fed our chickens wasn't working initially, but finally after 2 seasons we've figured out a good method. And then I want to encourage other people to farm, because especially sustainable and regenerative agriculture, we need more people, and we need more people producing healthy food.
I totally agree. Totally. Although we have some really great ones, right? All right, then next is Laura Tidrick with Mossy Cup Farm.
Hello. So yeah, Mossy Cup Farms, we're just north of Clear Lake, Iowa. We primarily raise pastured pigs. We do organic fed. We are fair to finish, meaning that all of our animals are born here. And the biggest reason that we got into it is kids, kind of like Aaron said. When our oldest was born, we found out that she had food allergies, and then our second daughter actually had a lot more food allergies. So we got really strict with our diet and knowing exactly everything that we were eating. And meat was one thing that was out of our control. So we started with chickens and a couple of pigs, and you're probably going to hear my kids in the background here. I apologize if they open the door, I can hear them out in the hallway. But we started with chickens and pigs. And so we raise eggs, chicken, pork. We do beef periodically when our pasture needs to be mowed. But that's really the why for us, is knowing exactly what we're eating. If I had to, I guess 2 things for advice getting into farming would be to treat it like a business. When we first started, we treated it more like a hobby. And there were a lot of things that became harder once we started to scale up. That would have been easier if we would have just treated it like a business initially. keeping all of your finances separate, really tracking everything. So that would be a tidbit there. And then also not doing too much too quickly. And just because you can do something doesn't always mean that you should. You know, you always get requests for different things. And yeah, we could absolutely raise ducks. Do they make us money? Absolutely not. You know, just things like that, that you figure out that it's just not everything is worth it. And it's really important to run the numbers first. So where we sell direct from farm. We have a website you can pre-order off of. We also sell our meat products, and we raise soaps. I don't have any meat with me, but we make soaps, coffee rub. We do different seasoning blends, lotion bars, and things like that. We actually sell those at the Purple Ribbon General Store in Clarion, Simply Nourished in Clear Lake on our website. We have meat at Cafe Mir in Fertile, and we do farmers market in the summer. So I think that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you. Nice product pitch too. All right.
I don't have a cow in the background. I had to do something.
I know, right? Come on, Aaron. All right. And then we do have Steve.
Hi, this is Steve Strassheim. I own Twisted River Farm in Mitchell, Iowa, which is right by Osage, Iowa. We primarily sell salad greens, microgreens, baby root vegetables like radish and some small carrots, and we do a few culinary herbs like basil and cilantro. We primarily market that through grocery stores, restaurants, and a couple farmers markets in North Iowa. We have found that a mix of diversity of marketing really provides a nice shock absorber to the business. So if one particular channel isn't available, like farmers markets aren't, you know, available in the wintertime, you have some other outlets to sell product, and that's really helped us kind of weather those seasonal changes throughout the last few years. The key advice, I think Ashley and Laura kind of took all of mine, so I'm going to try and make up some new ones here as I go. But my first one was, I was going to say is start small. So I'll parrot both of them and say, it's easy to get really excited. You know, we all love doing this, and you want to do everything and be everything to everybody. But start small and get to know your markets. A lot of times marketing and kind of what Laura had said about treating it like a business is extremely important. And we were guilty of it ourselves our first couple of years of running it kind of like a hobby. And it wasn't a huge mistake, but it just complicates things as you do scale up. And but getting to know, you know, what products are in demand. Now, fortunately in North Iowa, there's a lot of opportunity in a lot of different areas. It's not too overly crowded at the moment. So it's easy to kind of wade through there a little bit and find people to buy your product. But getting to know your customers, who your ideal customers are, it's easy to think when you're starting to think like, who's going to buy my product? And the easy answer, and I think one that everybody always thinks is, well, everybody should buy my product. Well, that's not really the case. You have to identify who we always call them dream customers are, like who's that ideal customer, and then focusing on them and directing all your marketing and all your branding and everything specifically towards those types of customers. And there's a lot of good resources out there. One I'll share for any new farmer would be like someone who a few of us follow is Charlotte Smith with Three Cows Marketing. I would highly recommend any newbie or even established farmers that want to get a little bit better handle on their marketing. She's got a lot of free resources out there, and it's fantastic material. So those would be my recommendations to anybody that's thinking about getting into farming.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for mentioning. I think that there's definitely, all of you have taken your own path, and as far as getting in the business and finding your product and your niche as far as that goes, but there's definitely a lot of room to grow here in North Iowa. We have a lot of people who eat a lot of food, right? And there's we currently represent not such a big part of the market share. So The more producers we get in, the more that we can make an impact on our local food culture. So thank you all for sharing your stories this morning. I do want to give you an opportunity. Did anybody have like an aha while anybody else was talking that you want to jump in, or else we can jump off for the morning?
I was going to say real quick, Maria, I forgot one of my notes about a lesson that we learned the hard way would be, so Amanda from Granby Beef, and we raise grass-fed beef, and we believed that because we were raising it that way and we were following all the guidelines that we were reading online, that's what we needed in order to sell it to the end consumer. But then when you start to think about marketing and labeling and actually putting a claim on your label about how you raise your products, it gets a lot more difficult. So even though we were following all the rules, it took us over 2 years to get the right certifications and labeling done so that we could advertise the beef the way that we were actually raising it. So just if people are thinking about certain claims they want to make about their products, do your research about what you have to do legally in order to make that claim on your label so that you can start that process early on, and you can get that paperwork done so that by the time you're ready to print your labels and sell it at a farmer's market or at a grocery store, you are able to print what you want and you don't have to wait until you get the stamp from the government.
That's so true. I know we struggle with that in our local food guide when people are making claims about their products, how important it is to make sure that, if you're saying you're organic, you better be organic. If you're grass-fed, you better be grass-fed. And it's not necessarily us that'll become the problem, but definitely there's larger powers that will come back and check with you, right? Yes, thank you for sharing. That's an important point. Anybody else? I know, admittedly, it's the Saturday morning that we're all now having some extra time, and I'm sure there's lots of things to get done on the farm or just at home in general, especially as we're amidst of a important health issue right now. So with that, we can let everybody go and enjoy your day, but thank you all for your stories, and thank you for being producers in North Iowa. Seriously, we wouldn't be here without you, and we appreciate everything you do. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Marie.
Thanks, Marie.
Thanks, Marie.